Fool couldn't tell if he was getting used to his new eyesight, or if he'd just spent too long underground. He'd gotten used to the silverfish, and learned that if you don't deal with them quickly, more may follow. Burning through pick after pick had been a nice relief compared to marking out the perimeter of the underground excavation. Fool was starting to realise how much time he had spent walking to and from the dig. He often found himself watching day turn to night on his clock, but that all seemed rather abstract underground. Down here, Fool could happily get lost in his thoughts. He'd never needed to sleep, but now was avoiding doing so just so he didn't have to face his peculiar dreams. Though even his daydreams had felt like they'd changed recently. It was all he could do to bury his head in his work, as he obsessively gathered more and more stone. He was collecting enough that he could seal himself away from the people he'd wanted to befriend. He knew deep down that he was ignoring what he really needed to do. But again, he couldn't find a way to believe that the savannah would accept him in his current state. And he'd been left alone by both Endermen for a while now. What was the big rush? He was only fighting to regain his own voice, somehow. If such a thing was even possible. But for all the excuses that Fool was making for himself, he couldn't really believe them, whilst things were so clearly wrong. Nellie had been behaving oddly too since that night. Whilst usually she was bouncy and ready to help craft whatever Fool needed, now she was reserved, almost stoic in her duties, or maybe she was just tired. Even though she was more distant at the moment, for whatever reason, Fool felt like he understood her more. Whilst Fool's glum demeanour was aligned with Nellie's, it was in stark contrast to the cats and wolves living in the bunker. But they couldn't understand why Fool wasn't talking to them. What had they done wrong? For now, it was all Fool could do to press forward. There was more stone that needed gathering, and more walls that needed building, for Fool to hide behind.